Hello, welcome back to Firesense Gaming. My name is Ben, and today we're continuing on with Suzerain 2.0. So last time out, things took a pretty bad turn for the worse here with our economy. We got hit by some economic sanctions, apparently. Ooh, that's new. Alright, that's actually kind of cool. A little battleship there for blockading the island. Nice. Anyway, but yeah, we hit with some economic sanctions, tanked our economy. But at the very least, we did sign the Minority Rights Act and like Children's was it Quality and Education Act, something like that. So at least we managed to get some good stuff out of it. But yeah, let's go and pick it up here. Looks like we got a couple of new articles. Let's check those out. Alright, from the Whole Sword Post, Reign unbans controversial British Party. The Minority Rights Act has been signed into law by President Reign after the approval of the Grand National Assembly by a majority vote on Wednesday following a 3-hour debate. While the name suggests differently, the main purpose of this act is to normalize, legalize, and even justify the British separatist sentiment. The act revoked the ban on the British Freedom Party, which was previously closed for their close ties to the militant British Freedom Front, and gives amnesty for previous British political prisoners who might have been involved with crimes against the Sword's people. Whole Sword Post condemns this decision. Of course, the racist newspaper condemns us trying to, give equality to everybody. And the radicals should hopefully be the opposites. Minority Rights Act sign. In a surprising move, the USP administration and President Reign have decided to do something right for the British citizens by signing the Minority Rights Act into law. While we don't know whether the Minority Rights Commission will be formed as a part of this act will actually manage to decrease racial inequality, the new law tries to undo past mistakes by revoking the ban on the Democratic Party of the BFP and giving amnesty to sole Arab prisoners who have been prosecuted under ridiculous accusations. Reign's move to reverse Sarkeen Sol's ban on the BFP has been welcomed by many British citizens. Mansoon Lee, who campaigned heavily for the bill, also sought to express his gratitude for the confirmation of the new rule, saying it is a step in the right direction for the British people. Cool. So we have one law update, which is the Minority Rights Act. Cool, that's what I figured. Alright, I don't see any other articles, reports at the moment. So, I guess let's head to Whole Sword here and take a look at the Alcohol Tax Act. The Grand National Assembly introduces the Alcohol Tax Act as a dual measure to curb excessive alcohol consumption and boost tax revenues. Section 1 of the ATA mandates a 20% tax on all alcohol products sold in the country. This measure serves not only as a deterrent to excessive alcohol consumption by raising the cost of alcoholic beverages, but also establishes a consistent source of government income. Section 2 of the ATA promotes domestic industry by making local alcohol production destined for export exempt from the aforementioned taxation. And this provision seeks to bolster the competitiveness of local producers in the international market while maintaining the aim of reducing domestic alcohol consumption. Section 3 of the ATA applies a 25% import tax on foreign alcohol products imported from countries that do not currently have any trade regulations imposed on alcohol-related goods. This policy aims to level the playing field for domestic producers and increase the overall tax revenue. Well, that's an easy one. We're going to sign it. Cool. Alright, let's give us a couple things in overview. Let's see, welfare situation, just alcohol consumption reduced. Cool. And, article from the Whole Sword Post. Reign to put a lid on alcohol consumption. The Grand National Assembly has signed the Alcohol Tax Act to deter the excessive amount of alcohol consumption that has recently been plaguing Swordland. Drunk and disorderly youths will quickly learn that their actions have consequences, and they will soon be paying a further 20% tax on all alcohol products in the country. Cool. Now we have this Fair Luxury Tax Act. In an endeavor to enhance the equity of the taxation system and augment tax revenues, the Grand National Assembly introduces the Fair Luxury Tax Act. This act proposes an amendment to Section 6 of the Tax Code of 1949. Section 1 of the FLTA determines a 15% tax rate on luxury goods is categorized by the Ministry of Economy. The definition of luxury goods under this act includes, but is not limited to, jewelry, furs, sports cars, yachts, and private planes. The implementation of this tax is intended to ensure that those with the means to purchase such items contribute proportionally to the state's revenue. Section 2 of the FLTA establishes a 10% estate tax applicable in situations of purchase, sale, and property transfer, particularly in cases of inheritance. This measure seeks to promote fairness in the tax system, ensuring that significant wealth transfers contribute appropriately to the state's revenue, while also deterring large-scale wealth accumulation through inheritance. It's +2 budget, and it's basically just taxing the rich, so heck yes, we're going to sign that. Alright, got a trophy here for a lawmaker, just signing 10 bills apparently. Cool. I haven't gotten that one before. Alright, and just like that, we're back to -4 budget. So, as long as we're careful, I think we can manage this the debt crisis here. Alright, let's see. It's got another overview, economy, situation. Increased luxury good prices is just an orange thing, apparently. Whatever, okay. Yeah, got the hiccups all of a sudden. That's nice. And one more article from the Wholesale Post. Luxury is now taxable. The Assembly signed an amendment known as the Fair Luxury Tax Act. This bold choice seeks to impose a tax act on personal items, including jewelry, coats, and cars. Believing that necessary products or loving gifts are all considered luxury products is the hard reality we're facing under the Reign administration, as they are determined to steal your hard-earned money out from under you. I did not know that jewelry, coats, and cars were necessary products. I mean, yes, coats are, but the wording in the bill made it sound like it's, you know, fur coats and super fancy luxury shit. But, you know, whatever. I don't really care about the Wholesale Post. Let's see here. What else we got? The option to fund a political youth group. The possibility of funding a political youth group has risen. We can potentially expand our ideological reach and bolster our election efforts. The presidency would discreetly allocate substantial government funds to the youth wing, integrating them into the state as part of the essential institutions in exchange for their loyalty and support. I'm pretty sure that would be a bad idea regardless of whether we had the funds or not, but we don't. We just barely managed to pull our wage budget down, or our wage bill down. So we're not going to fund anything there. That was a very easy choice as well. Okay, let's see. Any reports? Doesn't look like it. So let's head back to Whole Sword. An emergency call on an escalating situation. I was woken up in the middle of the night by a call from the Ministry of Defense. Due to the sensitivity of the information, I had to be urgently briefed in person. I put on my clothes as fast as I could. I rushed downstairs to open the door. Serge was waiting for me.
Mr. President, this way to the car, please.
We got into the car, made our way to the Ministry of Defense building without a word. I arrived and was directed downstairs. I came to a set of large doors, quickly read the sign above them. The sign read War Room. The dimly lit room was filled with cutting-edge equipment, the latest video screens, long-range radio electronics, and other devices for communication, presentation, and planning. The centerpiece of the room was a large round table with a coat of arms of Swordland engraved on it. David, Lucian, Vulcan, and Yosef were already deep in discussion.
I agree with your sentiments, Mr. Lancier. Going to war is simply too risky.
We must maintain peace at Swordland and Eastern Marcopa at all costs.
I agree. We have much to lose.
Have some faith in our soldiers. Status report, now.
Mr. President, thank you for coming in to say now. There's a situation. Falcon, please go ahead and provide your reports.
Mr. President, approximately 20 minutes ago, run back down one of our planes with anti-aircraft fire from the ground. The pilot was declared KIA. The last recorded position of the plane was inside Soldier airspace. General Kruger, I mean no offense, but are we absolutely sure this is the case? Are you sure this happened within our borders? No offense taken. Here are the locations on the map and the report from the airbase. He pointed to several markers on the map. To answer your question, yes, we are absolutely sure. You can see here on the map that the plane was downed approximately 10 kilometers inside our borders. We have calculated the trajectory of the gunfire, and they started firing our plane was within our border. The plane was down near Helgen. We need to be cautious. War with Rumberg is the last thing we want right now. Yeah, I completely agree.
It looks like they're trying to lure us into their trap. There's an attack against Soldier under different circumstances. The response to that is clear. But the current status for the military is also clear. We are not adequately equipped for such a foe. I agree, Mr. President.
We can't look weak. We appear weak, they'll jump on the opportunity. We must order military retaliation immediately.
You start losing your common sense, General Falcon. You know the state our army is in right now. Retaliation is too risky.
When was our job not risky, Mr. Lancier? Mr. President, our army is ready to do whatever it takes to protect Soldier. Wait, why is it Mr. Lancier? I thought Joseph was the major or something? I don't know, whatever. Gentlemen, before it comes to that point, we can prevent further bloodshed by using diplomacy. The room fell silent before Yosef finally spoke up.
Mr. President, what are your orders?
Yeah, we're totally going to just, start the war machine here. Now, we will approach this diplomatically and try to de-escalate the situation by any means. No one wants war. Lucian's tensed-up shoulders relaxed.
Thank you, sir.
I'll immediately begin working on it.
With Mr. Vichy's capabilities, I'm sure we'll de-escalate the situation successfully. We'll keep you updated on our progress. This is our best bet.
If you ask me, this is just plain old weakness we are showing them right now. I'm frankly disappointed, Mr. President. If we can't even retaliate at such an attack, what will become of this country in the future? Yeah, peace must be maintained at all costs. I'm saying this as a man who's seen too many years of war. But we are not the ones that are attacking the peace. Regardless, it looks like your decision has been made, Mr. President. I know and I am not needed. I'll take my leave. Before he left the room, he saluted.
Well, now that we know the way forward, I have an idea, Mr. President. I think we should hold a military parade to display our strength.
Yeah, I am with Mr. Lancey on this one. This should work well as a deterrent, and it will come in handy as a tool to de-escalate the situation.
Well, that is a good idea. Simple and effective without causing any ruckus.
I mean, if they all want us to do a parade, that's fine. That's fine. That makes sense. Organized military parade.
Understood. That is all, Mr. President. I'll keep you updated on the situation. For now, have a good night's sleep. You'll need it.
I couldn't sleep at all that night. Cool, that was fun. Alright, let's see. We got a report, newspaper. Let's start with the report. Okay. Valen raises concerns over Rumberg posturing. Amidst escalating tensions in the region, Valen's president, Viktor Smolak, has issued a statement raising concerns about Rumberg's aggressive maneuvers. Expressing unease over Rumberg's clandestine support for the British Freedom Front, Smolak warned Sordland to stay vigilant. This warning comes on the heels of a recent aerial engagement between Sordland and Rumberg, further inflaming the already volatile atmosphere. Cool. And then we have another article from the Whole Sword Post. Swordfish plane shot down. A Swordfish airplane has been shot down by Rumbergian anti-aircraft guns, allegedly for violating Rumbergian airspace. Government officials said the airplane was shot inside the airspace of Sordland. Our plane was shot down when it was flying near Hagen over the territory of Sordland by an anti-aircraft missile. Our pilot did not threaten Rumberg in any way, said Josef Lancey, the Minister of Defense. Despite the revealed evidence from Swordfish officials, Queen of Rumberg, Beatrice Livingston, had the guts to claim that our plane was shot for violating their airspace. This is a truly heinous act purposefully done by our rivals in the north. This tragic event will have severe consequences for Sordland-Rumberg relations. Cool. Then I guess we're flying back over here to Whole Sword for an urgent meeting on potential alliances. I was sitting right across from David in the White Room after he scheduled an urgent meeting. I knew the matter must have been serious. He insisted on waiting for Josef and Lucien, so we did. Lucien entered the room with Josef by his side.
Mr. President, we came as fast as we could. Mr. President, Mr. Vichy, what's going on?
David cleared his throat. Welcome, everyone. Due to the potential ramifications, I wanted everyone to be present for this meeting. We have received an envoy from the United Cantana. They are requesting a state visit. Judging from the current climate, it's not hard to see what this is about. CSP is always trying to expand its influence. After all, they will most likely try to convince us to join. In addition, as part of the state visit, Millennium will, of course, meet with you in person, Mr. President. I mean, there is something we could gain from the state visit.
I'll bet you'll come asking for cooperation under the guise of enforcing their demands to join CSP. This will antagonize half the world against us. We're going to be at the forefront of the battle. With the courage of our troops and our allies, we can defend our nation against everyone. We don't need any outside help.
I certainly want to take the least amount of risks for Sordland.
There is way more risk in entering the pact with CSP. Mr. Vichy, we rely on you a lot as you are an expert in your field with a proven track record. What's your take on this? What do you think is the right action?
Rumberg is bound to increase diplomatic pressure in the upcoming AN meeting. Back channels are reporting rumors about Queen Beatrice Livingston meeting with military leaders in Thornburg. I am afraid it might not be possible to stand against Rumberg without strong allies. Soon we'll have to take a side in this global rivalry to avert a potential conflict with Rumberg. And I recently found out of a planned meeting between the Queen and President Walker of Arcasia. CSP and Chairman Millennium might be necessary evil to stop worse things from happening. I say we should consider this offer very seriously. Lucian, what do you think?
We heard experts. You're the one who has to decide, sir.
Yeah, boy, okay. I mean, on the one hand, if we team up with the CSP, we might be able to get some more money out of them to help take us out of this little economic spiral here. But on the other hand, if we side with the CSP, that might very well pull us into a bigger war that we don't really want. And honestly, we're already in enough hot water from our little alliance with Volksland, so I think we're going to just decline their offer. I don't want to involve ourselves in superpowers. Decline their offer. Now I'll send a response immediately. I think that's all for today. Thank you all for attending. As we dispersed, the world map hanging on the wall in the room caught my attention. I walked over to it. How often were the lines on the world map redrawn over the recent decades? What about the future? Yeah, I don't know if that's going to come back and bite me or not, just like, the other lines did, but I'm going to attempt to play it safe and just not deal with it. Let's see, so we have a green policy, or green situation in the law here for expanded human rights, which is fantastic. And an orange situation in order for limited security powers. Okay, that's a thing, I guess. Cool. Alright, let's see here. So, I guess just head back to Ulster for late night at Rain Household. After weeks of late nights, Monica, Ciara, and the Women's Rights Commission succeeded in getting their bill through the Assembly. It was as comprehensive as they could have hoped for. I was looking forward to celebrating with my wife. But it had been hours since I got home and she still wasn't there. I was dozing on the couch after yet another frozen TV dinner when I heard the key turn the lock. Monica stumbled into the hall. Honey, I'm home. Just kiss her. I kissed her. Her breath smelled like gin. I was just having a few drinks with Ciara. Can't believe we did it, Anton. This is such amazing news. She hiccuped. Oh, come on, man. You could have invited me to the celebrations. Oh, you would have found it boring, and somebody had to look after Diana. I do believe you're turning into a politician, Mrs. Rain. Yeah, you said, baby. Seriously, Anton, this is what I want to do. I've never felt so alive. Let's show that old photo we found. I opened my briefcase, pulled out the photograph I'd taken from my old office on that fateful night with Peter. Oh, wow, look at us. Who would have thought we'd wind up as Sordland's most powerful couple? Oh, I always had an idea. We stayed curled up on the couch till late, talking and reminiscing about old times, so Monica took my hand and wordlessly led me upstairs to the bedroom. Fantastic. Oh, jeez, okay, a lot of things just popped up here. So, let's start with the reports. So, from Conrad, Volksani Navy spotted in full force in Helluland. According to intelligence reports, Volksani Navy gathered in full force around Helluland, blockading the island. The reports warn about a possible violent conflict between Agnolian and Volksanian forces. The Swordfish Navy in Conrad is on standby. Cool. From Lockhaven, one-on-one interview from Kyrits. Lucian Glad organized an interview for the presidency on the internationally renowned one-on-one. The famous journalist Thomas Saka will be asking questions. The crew of one-on-one and Thomas Saka will arrive next week in Lockhaven from Kyrits. Cool. Alright, from Volksland, Helluland operation signaled. Volksani military officials gave us their signal for the operation to Helluland. All Swordfish civilian vessels have retreated from the potential conflict zone. Several Swordfish ships and planes will continue their trips around the island and will share intelligence with the Volksanian forces. And from Rizia, Rizia applauds Sol's trial. King Romus praised Sorlin's decision to bring former President Sol to trial, viewing it as a commendable commitment to justice. The king expressed hope that this trial marks a turning point for transparency and accountability in Sordish governance, and remembrance for the horrific punishment of the monarchists, the Black Battalion, and the expulsion of the Sordish royal lineage. He stressed the importance of such actions in strengthening the trust between the two nations. Interesting, okay. I'm pretty sure King Romus is who you are in the Rizzi DLC, too. So maybe we'll see some of this from the other side here. Probably relatively soon, actually. Alright, and from the CSP. CSP launches Unified Intelligence Agency. In a move that marks a significant milestone in collective security, the CSP has announced the establishment of the complex Unified Intelligence Network. This unprecedented network consolidates the intelligence capabilities of all CSP member nations, enabling a higher level of operational synergy and facilitating seamless information sharing among the Alliance members. CUIN's establishment demonstrates the Alliance's commitment to a unified front in the face of evolving security challenges. By promoting transparency and cooperation amongst member states, CUIN stands as a robust and resilient counterweight to threats that could potentially compromise the collective security of the CSP Alliance. Cool. And from Arcasia, ATO demands transit rights from the Confederacy of Yarktralis. The ATO has formally requested land and naval transit rights from the Confederacy of Yarktralis, aiming to ensure a more secure passage that bypasses southern Kantana and southern Sheena. This request underscores both Yarktralis' strategic geopolitical importance and the ATO's desire to maintain open lines of communication and transit with the Confederacy. However, the Confederacy of Yarktralis, steadfast in its commitment to sovereignty and territorial integrity, firmly rejected the ATO's request. The refusal was issued by Yurivia, the Confederacy's respected elder overseer Rangi Wiramutu, emphasized that acceding to such demands could disrupt the delicate equilibrium that Yarktralis has achieved with its environment, potentially compromising the safety and security of its citizens. Despite the request and subsequent denial, the Confederacy remains in good terms with the ATO. This development illustrates Yarktralis' ability to balance its international relationships while prioritizing its sovereignty and unique lifestyle, testament to the nation's distinctive approach to diplomacy and governance. Interesting, okay. And from Full Sword, low investment synergy reported. The synergy between various investments across sectors remains low. A lack of alignment and coordination investment strategies is leading to suboptimal results and slowed economic progress. The current scenario underscores the need for a more integrated and strategic approach to investments to maximize their potential benefits. Interesting. And I think that's the last one. Yep. Cool. Alright, we have 4 newspaper reports here. So it looks like we got 2 of them here from the Whole Sword Post. Sordlin's largest military parade ever. President Rain has announced Sordlin's largest military parade ever to display the strength of the Sordish armed forces to the world. During the glorious day, tanks will roll, jets will fly, and our soldiers will march. Young and old, Sordish citizens will come together to once again cheer for our soldiers. The parade will send a clear message to our enemies: beware. President Rain will be joining the parade with a motorcade and drive through Victory Avenue. And Keebner condemns President Rain. In a television interview, Kasara Keebner condemned Bluish Rain for unbanning the Bluish Freedom Party, which he called a separatist political movement with an aim to destroy the Sordish nation. President Rain has just made the worst mistake of his term by revoking the ban on the BFP. We know they're the political wing of the BFF who are murdering babies in Burja, said Keebner. That's some fantastic racist rhetoric. Ugh. I hate Kasara Keebner. He's such a dick. Anyway, from the Radical, WPB record membership number. Jeez. According to the numbers released by the Workers' Party of Bolivia, there's a massive increase in membership, breaking a new record for their party. The polls also show that the popularity of the party has reached a new height in Burja and is expected to finish the first or second in the region of Burja. Fedi Ajal said in a public statement, the Workers' Party is leading a great journey to the Moon Palace, to finally bring about the People's Revolution. Those who are at the top may continue ignoring us, but the people will respond to them in the polls. Cool, I guess. And Geopolitica, Sordlin creates a peace line to avert war. Following Rumberg's demands for reparations from Sordlin, the tensions have increased dramatically between the two countries. Yesterday, a Sordish warplane has been shot by the Rumberg anti-air systems, and all the pilots on board have been killed. As per the information from Rumberg, the Sordish warplane has trespassed into Rumbergian airspace, whereas Sordish military reports that the plane was inside Sordish borders when it was shot. The international community is unclear of the certainty of the reports from both sides. Thankfully, the Sordish administration approached the incident calmly and established a peace line to avert war between the two countries. President Rain has been commended internationally for his efforts to de-escalate the situation and maintain peace. Cool. Alright. Ooh, this is definitely brand new. I've never seen this before. Let's back to whole start for the trial of Tarquin's soul. There it goes. The papers were calling it the trial of the century, and they're right. Colonel Tarquin Sol, the so-called father of Sordland, was finally being made to answer for his crimes. After months of investigations and hearings, the Supreme Court was about to deliver its verdict. I fairly bounded up the stairs of the courthouse, eager not to miss a word. In the hallway, I encountered Oved Gresser, still dressed in a suit and tie, and the two of us shook hands. Hell of a first case as Chief Justice, isn't it?
To say the least. But I believe the history books will say I made the right decision.
I'm glad to hear that. He nodded at me and went to change into his robes. Besides Sol and the judges, only a select few others were allowed in the courtroom. After thorough screening, I walked in. As soon as I entered, I saw my predecessor, Evel Alfonso, sitting right in the middle of the gallery. And he looked happier than he had back at Peter's villa. Color had returned to his face. I guess we can go talk to him. I took a seat in the row behind him and tapped him on the shoulder.
Anson, it's been a while.
Mr. Alfonso, to which we owe this pleasure.
It's the trial of the century since I couldn't just sit at home. But how have you been, still trying to lead Solden out of the mess I made?
I think it's safe to say it's my mess now.
You see, Mr. President, being in charge of a country like Solden isn't as easy as you think. And he who is considered a great leader today could end up in shackles tomorrow. Speak of the devil.
Tarquin Sol entered the courtroom, escorted by Carl Greiser and at least half a dozen other guards. His hands were cuffed, but he held his head defiantly high as they walked him to the defendant's seat.
How the mighty have fallen. I can't say it entirely saddens me to seem like this. Although it would have been nice to grab some of those member of honor privileges for myself.
No president, current or former, should be above the law.
Ideally, yes.
My response was cut off as the court justices filed in, led by Chief Justice Gresser in his full judge's regalia. Alfonso and I rose along with everyone else in the courtroom. After motioning for us to sit, the judge eyed Sol. A mirthless smile played across his lips.
The former President Tarquin Sol, former Colonel and Commander of the 6th Army Social Armed Forces, and the founder of the United Solden Party. You stand accused of multiple crimes against the state and the Soldier people committed during your time in office.
Herr Geraci was seated next to him. He spoke in a monotone, avoiding Sol's gaze.
As President, you allegedly abused your position for your own personal benefit while undermining the Constitution you yourself created. You are also being accused of inciting violence against the Bruges people during the construction of the Sol Dam at Ezran.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Introduce new false evidence. Isn't this supposed to be the, doesn't look like it goes up far enough, but I thought this was supposed to be the sentencing, not the actual trial. So I don't think we can introduce new evidence anyway, so I'm just going to wait. Yeah, I leaned forward in my seat, waiting for the verdict.
We, the Supreme Court, have thoroughly examined the facts and are prepared to deliver our final judgment. We find the defendant, Tarquin Sol, guilty.
Nice. The courtroom collectively gasped. Next to me, Alfonso mock applauded.
You did it. You actually did it. Tarquin Sol, for the magnitude of your crimes against the state and humanity, I hereby sentence you to life in prison.
Sol barely blinked. He looked as serene as I had ever seen him.
The court is now adjourned. Guards, you may escort Colonel Sol to his cell.
With a grim smile on his face, Carl roughly pulled Sol onto his feet. As he stood, Sol looked straight at me and twitched the fingers of one of his cuffed hands, beckoning me to approach the bench.
Well, are you happy? You have robbed an old man of his last few years of peace.
I'm just happy justice has been served.
You see it as justice. The rest of Solden may see it differently. For all your efforts, you've only succeeded in turning me into a martyr. The end result is the same. I will be remembered as a hero, and you, well, you'll be lucky to be remembered at all.
After one last look at me, he turned his back and allowed the guards to escort him out of the courthouse. My legs suddenly felt as if they were about to give way. I collapsed in the nearest chair. I stayed there as Alfonso left, and the rest of the spectators and the justices. Only when the courtroom had completely emptied out did I gather all my strength, get up, and leave to face a crowd of reporters outside. And it looks like I got an achievement for convicting Soul. I know there's one for executing him, but I didn't see an option when we were setting the was it presidential decrees or whatever to give the death penalty. But I mean, that's fine. It seems kind of out of character for this this reign anyway. Alright. But with that save point, that feels like as good of a place as any to come call for today. So that was definitely pretty cool. But yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see y'all next time.